Awareness, the final frontier. These are the explorations of Jonathan Robinson and Brian Tom O'Connor. Their continuing mission, to discover fresh new paths to the mystery within, to seek out new joys and new methods of awakening, to boldly go into the heart of expanded consciousness. This is Awareness Explorers.
Well, welcome back, Awareness Explorers, and this is a special edition of Awareness Explorers because we just hit our 50th episode. So thank you for joining us, and in celebrating our 50th episode, Brian and I have a wonderful idea, which is to awaken you completely in one episode. So this is our idea. Rather than discuss a topic, Brian and I are going to go back and forth with several guided meditations, probably spanning about 20 minutes with your eyes closed and about 20 minutes with your eyes open. And the idea is to get you so deeply peaceful in the first 20 minutes of having your eyes closed that when we have you open your eyes and continue with other or new awareness games and explorations, that you'll be able to experience what it's like to be deeply in touch with your true nature. And so you don't want to listen to the first part with your eyes closed while driving a car unless you're really, really awakened. But
even then, don't try it.
Yeah, don't try it. Right. But any comments you have about what we're going to do in this special edition of Awareness Explorers, Brian?
Well, I think it's great, and congratulations to you and to me on hitting episode number 50. Although we did have an episode 0, so this is technically our 51st. So let's bring you into our 51st state of awareness.
And I think that that you'll begin, and as I told our listeners, that it'll be approximately 20 minutes of guided meditations with your eyes closed, followed by 20 minutes or so of your eyes open. And during the eyes open part, we suggest that you do something very simple, like go for a walk or maybe clean up around your house while staying in the awakened state, and we will be guiding you through how to do that. So that's the plan for today. And hopefully by doing this, you will experience a new way of being in life that you can take out into the rest of your life as well. So without further ado, Brian, why don't you lead our listeners into the first guided meditation with eyes closed?
Okay, thank you, Jonathan. This is an awareness game that I call Born Yesterday. It's also known as the Just Born identity. So close your eyes, relax, and imagine you were just born a little while ago. Imagine you haven't learned any of the words or concepts or fears or ideas about yourself and the world that you've accumulated up to now. And just imagine that everything is fresh and new. You have no words to describe it, you have no labels to describe it, and you have no concepts about it.
Good. Now as you sit there, I want you to focus on what it feels like to have a body. More specifically, what are the sensations that you notice in your field of awareness? How do your feet feel? Notice any warmness or coolness or vibration there. Notice how your legs feel. That you can feel inside your body, the blood, the bones, all the way to the skin. How your butt and pelvic area feels. And as you notice all these sensations, notice if there's any place that feels tight or contracted. Just notice for now. You don't need to do anything about it. And as you notice the sensations there, if there's some place that feels tight or contracted, see if you can kind of just let it relax or unwind. And as we move up your body to your stomach area, your lower back, once again, notice if there's any place that feels tight or contracted. And if so, at first, just let it be however it is. Notice how you sense into your body. And then, if it's easy, you can take a deep breath into any area that feels tight or contracted, and let that drift away, leaving that part of your body feeling more spacious and open. And then your chest, upper back. Notice the sensations. Allow what's there to be there. And then see if you can just gently let go of any contraction in your upper body, chest, and back area. And finally, your face, your jaw, your cheek, your forehead muscles. Sense what that feels like in your field of awareness. And if you notice any contraction, see if it can be let go of, unclenched, relaxed. Allow a feeling of spaciousness to fill your entire body. And enjoy the peace of that.
And piggybacking on top of Jonathan's meditation on the body, my next game is called Big Body. Notice your body. Notice all of it. Keep noticing until you're noticing your entire body, from the top of your head to the tip of your toes, including every inch of skin and every particle of every organ and every physical sensation that appears. Now imagine that you have a bigger body that surrounds and encompasses your entire body. Be that bigger body. Look at your regular body from that big body that surrounds it. Imagine that anything you can sense about your regular body is contained within big body. Let your big body expand. Let it be big enough to include everything you see, hear, and feel. If you hear sounds, imagine them happening inside your big body. If you have any physical sensations, imagine them happening inside your big body. Imagine that everything you experience inside your big body, including the image you have of your regular body. Imagine that image and that sense of your body is just a smaller body inside this bigger body that includes everything. Be the big body.
Now notice or bring up any thoughts that have been stressful to you in the last day or week. And we'll see if we can change your relationship to those thoughts. So perhaps you have some problem in your life that you're dealing with, or some uncomfortable feeling. Just choose one for now. And as you think or feel into something that has caused you stress recently, just allow it to be there in your field of awareness. Notice any contraction or resistance that shows up as you think or feel into this situation. See if you can welcome these feelings or thoughts that you used to resist or used to label as stressful, and just allow them to be there as they are. Now see if you can let go of trying to control any of this. That you let go of trying to control the situation to be any different than it is. So that in letting go of trying to control it or wanting it to be different, you can feel in control right now. Can you let go of wanting control even more? so that you can feel at peace and in control in this moment. And even more, letting go of needing it to be any particular way other than it is. Just allowing things to be exactly as they are, with no preference of pushing it in any direction. And enjoying the peacefulness of that. Relax into that acceptance.
This next game is called Slippery Mind. Imagine your mind is a very slippery, very smooth surface with no walls or fences or anything you can hold on to. When a thought comes in, it can't stay. It's too slippery. It just whoosh, slides on out the other side. You can imagine this slippery, smooth surface as a highly polished disc. A thought comes, it just slides right through and out the other side. Sometimes a thought will circle for a while before it slides out. When you notice this happening, just slightly tilt the smooth surface, and the thought will slip and slide right on out the other side. So if some thoughts stick around in your slippery mind and continue to spin, you can nudge them, or maybe give them a little jolt of electricity, and then watch them slide right on out. No need to prevent any thought from coming, because as soon as it arrives, it slides out. No need to control the content of the thoughts, because each thought just comes in and it cannot gain any purchase. It just slides right on out.
And for our final eyes closed meditation, before we do eyes open meditation, I'd like you to imagine a whiteboard, like the kind you draw on. And on that board are the words, I am. After the I am, think of an identity you have that you often identify with, like I am a man or woman, or your career, or a parent, or an athlete. What is one of the identities that you might have after I am? Put it on the whiteboard and feel into that identity. What does that identity feel like? Now imagine erasing whatever word you put after I am, and just feel into being an I am, an awareness. Notice how that feels different. Now come up with another identity to put on that whiteboard after I am. Something that you commonly identify with, maybe your career or something else. Feel into this new identity. What does it feel like in your body and mind to feel into this part of you? Now imagine erasing whatever came after I am, erasing that identity, letting it go. And once again, just picturing the words I am and feeling into what it is like to just be. No identity other than now awareness. I am. You can even let go of the I and just be am. Just something existing without any sense of I in this moment. And this moment. Am. Good. Now I'd like you to very, very slowly take your time and slowly begin to open your eyes as just an awareness into a three-dimensional world of color, sights, sounds. As best you can, continuing to just to be an I am from this place of stillness and awareness.
So now, moving on to our eyes open games and meditations. This one is called Outside and Inside Sights. Look at your environment and notice the sights. Whatever sights are occurring. At first, you'll probably see them as occurring outside of yourself. But where are you experiencing the sights? What if the sights are happening inside of you? Pick any object in your field of vision and notice that your experience of that object is within you. It is within the clear, open field of awareness in which all experience appears. Try it with another object. And just imagine that object appearing not outside, but within you, where you directly experience it, within the clear, open, infinite field of awareness. And now take in everything that you can see, even to the farthest distance if you're outside or looking out a window. And imagine all that you see taking place within you. And by you, I mean the clear, open, infinite field of awareness that you are.
Now, continuing with your eyes open, let's see if we can expand your awareness to include your heart. As you look around, or walk around, or do simple activities, I want you to use a simple mantra to help you feel an open heart. And that mantra is the words, thank you. So whatever your eyes are focusing on now, it could be something in nature or something in the room you're in. Just choose one object and feel a sense of gratitude that that's in your field of awareness. You can say thank you to either the divine or your higher self for being able to see this object. Perhaps noticing the beauty of this object, the color, the shape. Perhaps its value in your life. And see if you can feel your actual gratitude in your heart, a moment of openness for being able to enjoy this and other sights that you see. The gift of being able to see anything. And the gift of the abundance of this and all the other objects in your environment. Feeling grateful that you get to see, enjoy, and play with it all. And then listen to the sounds in your environment, all within the field of awareness. The different vibrations, some you like, some maybe you don't. But once again, saying thank you in your heart for each sound. Or if it's very quiet, saying thank you from your heart for the silence, for the quiet. All coming out of a vast field and container of awareness and going back into silence. And then look at some part of your own body. or maybe your body as a whole, and feel a sense of gratitude and thank you for this incredible spacesuit that allows you to experience the material world, that does tens of thousands of small cellular adjustments each second without your effort. As you look at your body or a part of your body, allow that feeling of gratitude for the gift of a body and life that is so easily given to us. And just sit with that appreciation for a few moments as you go about moving your body in the material world.
Experiencing your face from the inside. Think of your face. Is the first image that pops up the picture of your face as it looks to you in the mirror? If so, try to imagine what it's like to experience your face from the inside. If you like, you can try it with your eyes closed first, and imagine feeling the inside of your face. Then try it with your eyes open, and imagine seeing the inside of your face. When you're looking out through your eyes, notice what parts of the outside of your face you can actually see. Can you see your cheeks or your nose? If you scrunch up your upper lip, can you see it? Then imagine any parts that you can't see aren't really there. Imagine that your face, as it's seen from the outside, isn't really there. All that exists is the seeing that's happening behind and within you. Be that seeing.
Furthering that meditation, we'll go into something called headlessness. So there's seeing happening. As you look out from your eyes, notice that you can't see your head, but what you can see is it looks as if there are arms and a body coming out of this big space. Even as you walk around, it might seem like you are still, but the ground is moving towards this big space. That you are that space, that void, that arms and legs and body is coming out of. And if you walk forward, it appears like the scenery moves into that big open space, while your awareness behind that body stays still. So you can't see your face, but it's as if you are space for the material world. Like you're looking out a window from a place of stillness and openness. And if you use an arm to grab something, it's like the arm comes out of this open space of sight. And if you bring something to your lips, it's like that thing is brought closer to this open void. And you ultimately are this open space of which all things, including your body and the world, seem to come out of. And you are the stillness of that open space. Be the space of which all things seem to come out of.
In this meditation, I'm going to be instructing you how to do something later on your own when you're walking around with your eyes open. But for now, I'm going to describe the exercise and ask you to simply imagine that you're walking around. And I'll leave it up to you, while you're imagining it, while listening to me, to have your eyes open or closed. But it's important that this is an eyes open exercise that after this podcast is over, you'll take out into the world and try. Looking out through other people's eyes. When you do this on your own, you'll be walking around the streets of your city or town. For now, just imagine you're walking around. Start by imagining yourself looking outwards from behind your eyes. Get a sense of what it's like to be me looking at them. Then randomly select a person and imagine looking out through his or her eyes. Imagine what it's like to be that person's mind looking out at the world. Imagine, just for now, if you don't believe it to be true, that what's looking out their eyes is identical to what's looking out your eyes. Not too hard to imagine, because what's looking is clear and empty, the looking itself, like the blank screen on which images appear. It has no content of its own. So if what's looking out through your eyes is blank and clear, and what's looking out their eyes is blank and clear, what's looking out through your eyes and what's looking out through their eyes is identical. Now imagine, just for now, if you don't believe it to be true, that what's looking out their eyes is not only identical, but exactly the same thing as what's looking out through your eyes. It's like a million-eyed mind. One clear, universal, whatever that's looking out through everyone's eyes, all at the same time. I am looking out through my eyes. I am looking out through their eyes. We are all I, the only I there is.
And for our final open eye meditation, I'd like you, whatever you're doing, to use a certain mantra. And the mantra is the phrase, "There is only now." Think that to yourself. There is only now. You have never lived in the future or the past, although we live as if that's the case. In reality, life and breath come to us one moment at a time. And there is only one time, and that is now. And if your relationship with now is trying to get to some future event, you're not really fully experiencing now. Even if you're thinking about the future, that happens now. So embrace all the sights, sensations, smells, thoughts, emotions of now, because there is only now. Allow yourself to fully embrace now, not thinking that any time in the future is going to be better, because even then it will be now. And if and when you find yourself hurrying through now, or hoping to get to another time, remind yourself that there is only now. And notice what's going through your stream of awareness, your field of awareness in this particular now. And allow yourself to keep on using that mantra. When you notice that you're trying to get somewhere else, just simply think, there is only now. And allow yourself to fully embrace it in all its complexity and depth and magic and mystery for the rest of your day, for the rest of your nows. And that concludes our prolonged guided meditation. May you take whatever peace and awareness that you're now feeling, and allow it to linger and show up throughout your day, because your day will continue to be filled with now. So, Brian, that was lots of fun. I feel high. I hope you do. It looks like you do.
Absolutely. And that was a wonderful one to end it on. Thinking back, I have a memory that there were 49 plus episodes before this 50th episode, but those memories are only happening now. And right now, this is the only episode there is.
That's true.
But even so, I feel right now like my heart is full of gratitude for the pleasure and privilege of sharing these with you.
And sharing it with our listeners who,
Yes.
Email us or tell us that it's valuable stuff. One of your meditations, Brian, looking out through other people's eyes, I found really interesting, but I wasn't around people at the time. So I look forward to trying that while in daily life around people. And I would suggest if people were going through that exercise in a place where there weren't people, that they could just imagine it with their eyes closed if they wanted, or imagine it with their eyes open and see what it's like to get to a place where you realize that what's looking out through other people's eyes is the same thing as what's looking out through your eyes. So that's one I'm going to play with and see if I can use it when I'm engaged in the business of daily life with other folks.
That's an excellent point, Jonathan. And it's true that that particular game is a little different from the others because it's really designed as an instruction for you to do later, as opposed to an experience while you're listening to me talk about it. So I leave that up to the listener. If you'd like to do it with eyes closed as you're listening to me talk about it so that you can imagine looking out through other people's eyes, then that's fine if you feel like it. And then make sure that you take these instructions outside the world and do it as an eyes open meditation as you're walking around where there are people. Or if you happen to be lucky enough to be listening to the podcast while you're walking around among people, there you are.
There you are. That sounds good. And feel free to pass this guided meditation on. It's a drug trip in a certain way.
That it is.
It's a prolonged voyage into your deepest nature.
Right. And all of these are simply pointers to turn your attention around to the joy that's already there within you, in awareness, always available, never goes away. It's there. We just forget to notice it sometime.
Yeah. Well, the good news is it's always there now. So if you're in the now, it's there.
Yep.
And we invite our listeners, besides sharing this, to remember the most important thing is in life to keep exploring.
Keep exploring. Thank you for listening to Awareness Explorers. To learn more, you can check out our website at awarenessexplorers.com. Please subscribe to our podcast on iTunes, Google Play, or your favorite podcast app. And we'd love it if you would post a review. And please share our link on Facebook and with family and friends, because knowing yourself as awareness is the greatest gift you can give yourself or someone you love.